Special under degree. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea, sip this tea. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea, sip with me. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Hey, Melanated. Hey, bro, what's going on? What's up, people? What's going on? I got my sis, Peanut. Say hi, Peanut.
I'm sorry, I was sharing you out. My bad. I was like, oh, I forgot to hit the share button. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
And we're going to get into the Timothy Busfield case. There is a lot going on in this case. It's definitely going to have to be a two-part because this is going to be a 45-minute live. We're going to go over a few things. Yeah, I believe that Timothy Busfield is innocent. Innocent. So I'm going to take it from the beginning, okay? For those who don't know who Timothy Busfield is, so that everybody that's watching can understand who he is and what the case is about. Let's go. Diamond Gang. Timothy Busfield just faced a judge for the first time, only hours after telling cameras he couldn't wait to be exonerated. He turned himself in to Albuquerque authorities. He's being charged with criminal sexual contact of a minor and child abuse. The allegations involve two young actors from The Cleaning Lady. Prosecutors want him held while the case moves forward.
Watching this, that I was ordered to come to Albuquerque. I'm here now. I got the call Friday night. I had to get a lawyer. Saturday, I got in a car, drove 2,000 miles to Albuquerque. I'm going to confront these lies. They're horrible. They're all lies. And I did not do anything to those little boys. And I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it with a great team. And I'm going to be exonerated. I know I am, because this is all so wrong and all lies. So hang in there. And hopefully I'm out real soon and back to work. I love everybody for supporting me. Thank you.
Diamond Gang. Just hours after making that statement, Busfield was brought into court for the first time as prosecutors argued, should he remain in custody?
Right, we're on the record, FR 273-2026, State of New Mexico versus Timothy Busfield.
James Plummer for the state.
Amber Feuerberg on behalf of Mr. Busfield, Your Honor, who appears in MDC custody.
Good afternoon. Mr. Busfield is set for felony first appearance this afternoon. Counsel, have you had an opportunity to advise your client?
Yes, I've had an opportunity to advise my client of the charges against him, the possible penalties, and his rights. He does not raise a probable cause challenge at this time as a result of the arrest warrant, and I understand, Your Honor, that the state has filed a motion for pretrial detention.
Thank you, counsel. That's correct. It looks like a probable cause was found on January the 9th at the time the warrant for Mr. Busfield's arrest was issued. And Mr. Busfield, the state has filed an expedited motion for pretrial detention in this case, sir. That means you will continue to be held without bond pending your hearing before the district court, sir. That hearing will take place within the next 5 business days. Your deadline for preliminary hearing is going to be January the 29th, sir. Was there anything further from counsel for defense for the state at this time?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to stop
Thank
it
you.
right here.
We're off the record.
I'm going to stop it right here. So let me tell y'all, okay? He was held without bond for 5 days. He was recently released yesterday. He was held. And there has been some evidence that has been has come to light. He was accused with 2 actors that played, they're twins, twin brothers, okay? They play on The Cleaning Lady. I don't want to give everything away, but he was accused of inappropriate things with these children.
Groping.
Okay. Yeah, groping, touching, and some other things, talking and hey, Empress, hey, Sammy, what's going on? Melanated. And there was some evidence that came out yesterday, right before he was released. And I want y'all to hear this, because what we're going to do is we're going to go into the TMZ clip, and I also have
YG,
what's up?
you said Sammy down there?
Yeah.
Welcome home. I said, damn.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
And
Hi, Peanut.
good. You got anything?
Hey, bro.
Are you mad at me?
Who?
You, that
Why
Al.
would, why would I be mad at you? I was at work. You know I'm short when I'm at work.
Oh, welcome, gang.
Yeah, welcome everybody. We got Dub, we got Peanut up on the panel.
Can't forget the real Angel in the building.
Oh yeah, Angel, because she never come on. She's always speaking through you, and I hate that.
That part.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's your problem. You're gonna have to figure that out, aren't you?
I will, because
like you figure out all these cases.
She's
Do
gonna
your
have
job.
to go, she's gonna have to go through her own device and get on a panel with us.
Then it'll be echoing because we in the same place. See?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yes, you're right. So she has to speak through you.
Do your job.
Right. Or we can. Or we can just have girl talk, and you can just mind your business.
See what they doing, gang? See how they all do? That's what I'm saying. I love to see y'all stick together, though. I thought we was talking about this case because I got a lot that I got to say.
Listen, though. Listen. We have a clip from TMZ. I'm gonna go over that, and we have a clip from Law and Crime. But I'm gonna play a piece of evidence. This evidence for y'all. It's going to blow your mind.
It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. Dub, you ready? You got your seatbelt on?
What up, it's your girl Yolanda, the great with the great spills the tea.
I have to.
Diamond Gang. New audio has just been released in the Timothy Busfield case. And this part right here is raising a lot of questions. In this clip, the officer asks the boy about the allegations.
So, you know what's right and wrong, right?
Yeah.
You don't know when to touch your private areas?
Yeah, but he doesn't touch them.
Doesn't touch your private parts? Okay. And you know what's right and wrong, right? You know where people can't touch, where people can't do. Yeah, you know that, right? Does Tim ever do that?
No, he's never touched me.
Never touched you?
Yeah.
In like, you know, your private areas, right?
Yeah.
Never did that?
Never.
Okay.
Diamond Gang. So you hear it clearly. The officer asked him twice. And both times, the boy says Timothy never touched his private parts. This is a major moment considering the original allegations. And the people are reacting fast. Diamond Gang. I did a breakdown on these allegations. If you missed it, please go to my upload video. All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Now, mind you, they would not let him out. Hey, T2, what's up? Hey, Damon, what's going on? You don't remember
What's
this
up,
story?
AT2? What's up, gang?
This
What's
just
up,
happened,
y'all?
AT2. This literally just happened. I mean, they was investigating it for a while, but he's had a warrant issued for his arrest for a
Yeah,
while too. And he finally just turned himself in last week. And he literally just got released last night. So they've been
yeah,
investigating him for months. So
yeah.
how it works is
Months.
how it works is when you have allegations like this come forward and you speak to certain people that are mandated reporters, DSS is automatically going to be involved. The department, or I don't know, we call it DSS here in North Carolina. Some people call it the Department of Child Health Services, whatever the case may be. But they're automatically going to get involved. So you have the police investigation, and then you have Child Protective Services investigation. And between that, they both are going to have a forensic investigation. So the boys had to get not only questioned, but they had to be examined to make sure that they were not violated in any other way. So these boys during this time has went through a lot. So keep that in mind while sis is breaking everything down.
Can I elaborate?
Most certainly, bro. I thought you was
Can
just
y'all hear
going to
me?
elaborate. Yeah, I can hear you. I just muted. My apologies.
No, well, can you actually, you know how we do, gang. I think everybody know Diamond Gang, Band A Gang. We like to be accurate on everything that we do. I just want to know if you can definitely follow up and see how many months that is, because I have a different opinion. And you know, but that's, we all have them. That's why we're all here. Some people like to hear the back and forth. Some people that are watching us in the vertical and other chats, they beg the difference. So I did a little research. And to me, I think that it should be evaluated a little bit more because the parents were scammers.
She's
Wait,
gonna get
I
into
was
that.
gonna
She's gonna get
play a
into that.
clip.
She's gonna get into
We're
that. I
gonna
was
get
just
into
breaking
that.
down the investigation part.
Oh, so that means I'm on the right track, right?
Yes, you are
Yes.
on the
I
right
dropped the
track.
mic.
So,
I dropped the mic. That's why we the
with
best
that
at what we
being
do.
said, we may as well get into the TMZ clip.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
You
I didn't
good,
mean
bro?
that.
You good? I was just breaking down the investigation before she played the clip, so that way everything comes full circle and
Yeah.
people have time to think about everything these parents literally put
Sorry,
their
chat.
kids through.
Sorry, chat.
Right. All right, let's get into the TMZ clip.
Please hit the like button, Band-Aid Gang. We do. It is mandatory when you come into YG's house
BetMGM is
that
where
you
you
do
leave
hit the like
ordinary
button.
for something a little more interesting.
Policeman asked, did Timothy Busfield...
Let me go back. I'm sorry. Let me take it back. I done watched this clip about 5 times.
Huge victory for Timothy Busfield today. And an enormous loss and even embarrassment for prosecutors in Busfield's child abuse case. You know that Busfield has been held without bail for about 5 days after being charged with sexual abuse involving two young kids who were actors on the set of The Cleaning Lady. Busfield held without bail, but today there was a hearing on why that should stick. And the judge said, no way should this stick. The defense lawyer, the lawyer for Busfield.
Let me stop it because we do have to do commentary in between. I just can't play this straight through. But just the fact that the prosecutors would, I want to know, how were they able to obtain an arrest warrant for this man? How?
Medical records. Medical records,
Because I
because
think if I'm not
it's
if I'm not mistaken, um, that's why I asked Peanut, was it more than a couple of months? Because some of the intel that I ran across, it said it was quite a while. I don't know if it was months because
no,
he had a
it was
lot of.
months. It was
Okay.
months. It was months that they investigated. I can't recall how many months they investigated, but they did investigate. This also came from them going to the parents putting them in therapy, quotation and quotation. And it was the therapist that reported the allegations to DSS because therapists are
Mhm.
mandated reporters. Like even going through the military, if you attend couples therapy and you admit to any abuse, they are required to notify the military because they're paying for that insurance. So there's some things that you say that are trigger words and it's going to be reported. So it's been an investigation, like DSS and everything was involved. So how they were able to obtain this is through the therapist records and probably, just I don't even think it was doctor records at this point. They just immediately put them in therapy. And of course, they had to go to the doctor. So they know it was no, I don't even know if I can say the penetration on the internet. There was none of that done.
Right.
That's already cleared. So it's literally statements from their therapy appointments is how they attained this. And in order for charges to now, another thing to this is even though the judge say he doesn't recommend it going forward and he don't understand how it is because it's very little evidence. So it's literally going to be those children's word against that adult.
Yeah.
And it's already conflicting as it is because you have the forensic, because that wasn't just a regular cop, that was a forensic. When you have these type of cases, you
Mhm.
speak to a forensics investigator. So that was literally the forensic investigator questioning these kids. So it's going to be a conflict because they're saying one thing in therapy and then they're
Right.
saying another thing to investigators.
Right.
Because all they do is just investigate and take their findings to the DA. The DA chose to do this.
Mm.
This has nothing to
There's
do.
another twist to this too. When you hear
Yeah.
this,
So
this clip, there's another twist. Let me play it again.
Are you at the other twist? Because I might say some things
no,
that might.
it's
No,
not.
hold
No,
tight,
she's not
hold
there
tight,
yet.
because there's
She's not there yet about the parents.
Oh,
But
I wasn't
why,
even
why,
gonna say
why?
nothing about
wait,
the
wait.
parent.
It's not about the parents, but it's about this case altogether. They fumbled the ball on the previous case. So listen
They
to this.
did. They fumbled the ball.
All right, let's go.
Complaint and just started picking it apart, basically saying that this is a case involving revenge by parents who were angry that their kids were fired from the last season of The Cleaning Lady. To support the argument, the defense played for the judge an audio we first obtained involving one of the kids talking to the police. And even before the policeman asked, did Timothy Busfield touch you inappropriately? The child jumped in, even before the question was asked, and said, he never touched me inappropriately. Well, that is significant evidence, and the judge heard it. And that was then buttressed by something that the prosecutor had even put in her complaint, that one of the actresses on the set said that the mother of these two boys told her that if her kids were fired, she vowed revenge against Timothy Busfield. So
Y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that?
Damn.
So this mother literally, allegedly, got these babies to lie. Lie.
She definitely did. And it was clear as day. Now, chat, y'all remember and follow through.
Well, ask the chat. Ask the chat. What do they
Now,
think?
now, chat, remember and follow through and what sis is dropping down. Because remember, I told you with that mother communicating that threat, because her kids did not get a role, remember everything that them kids had to go through just for these charges. Forensics, medical examinations, questioning, like all of that. And remember, folks are now going to watch that show to try to figure out who those boys are. They still got to go to school.
Oh, yes, they are. I didn't think of that.
They still got to go to
That's
school.
true.
I did not think of that. All right, let
Everyone,
me
please
play this
smash
movie.
that like button. It don't bite.
Yep,
No.
like.
Good evening to everyone coming in and thank you for joining.
All right, let's get it.
there was a lot more that went on, but this defense lawyer just picked apart um, all of the allegations that the prosecutor had made, trying to suggest that he was a danger to the community. Another thing that the defense lawyer said was that Timothy Busfield was never alone with these children, and the people who regularly were around never saw anything untoward with Timothy Busfield and the kids. Melissa Gilbert, Timothy Busfield's wife, was in court. She was crying
I'm gonna show
as the
y'all the
judge
court
said not
when they was in
only
court
would he release Timothy Busfield, but he would release him without any bail, that he is released on his own recognizance pending
because
trial.
listen,
Now, this
gang,
does not
the prosecutor insisted that Timothy had a pattern. She insisted that Timothy was touching these kids. The prosecutor. Hold on.
mean that Timothy Busfield is in the clear. He is still the defendant in a child sexual abuse case, and that is serious. But if this is any bellwether where the judge went from no bail to releasing him without any bail, the judge at least seemed unimpressed with what the prosecutors have brought to the table, at least so far. Now, I think it's relevant. This is in Albuquerque, different from the Alec Baldwin Rust case that was in
Pay
Santa
attention.
Fe. But the Alec Baldwin case completely collapsed. And ultimately, the judge found there was prosecutorial misconduct and dismissed the case outright. And it was a huge embarrassment for Santa Fe prosecutors. I am not saying the same thing is going to happen with Timothy Busfield because
I believe
it
it
is
is.
premature. We haven't heard the trial. A trial is very
She's
different
definitely
from
going to
what
get
we
fired.
heard now. But what we heard now is relevant because if the prosecutor is painting Timothy Busfield as this kind of danger to society so that he shouldn't ever get out until the trial runs its course, the judge didn't buy that at all, did the exact opposite
I'm going to
today.
play that clip of her
So
doing that.
if this case were to collapse the way the Rust case collapsed, this is bad for New Mexico. And I realize there are two different jurisdictions, but people don't parse it that way. And that was a huge high profile case in Santa Fe. This is a huge, huge case in Albuquerque. So it remains to be seen what happens. But today was an enormous defeat for prosecutors and a big victory for Timothy Busfield.
Yes. All
That's
right.
that's crazy. I'm in New Mexico now, and
So,
and Albuquerque.
sorry, y'all. The parents.
Quote, tired of dragging
Oh,
space
you
heaters
are?
around in
Hold on.
winter and
Let me stop
Yeah.
this. Sorry, gang. So, go ahead. What was you going to say, Peanut?
Oh, that was bro talking.
Peanut?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Okay. Okay.
No, that
I thought you
that
was
was
going
me,
to say
sis. I
something.
said I was in
Yeah.
Albuquerque as we speak.
Yeah, but the parents have multiple like fraud cases. Fraud cases. But I'm gonna pull up
It seems like it
the
might be the mom more than the dad, though, and the dad just going along with everything.
yeah, yeah. But I'm
Yeah, it
gonna
seems
pull
like
up the
it's
Good
more so the
Morning
mom.
America clip, the video that I did earlier today. You're gonna see how they were pressing, and I mean pressing to paint him out to be dangerous.
Now, can I ask one question so we can know
What up?
before or
It's your girl
Yeah.
after?
Yolanda.
Let me pause it. Go ahead, bro.
I wanted
Go
to
ahead.
know this question that I may have missed it, but if I didn't, I do want to know because that's what I'm here for, and a lot of people are here for because we all need to understand it so we don't put out the wrong information. Now, there was something stated that the children at a time said that he did fondle with their body parts, but they were fully clothed.
That was in therapy.
So that was
Right.
before
That
or
that was
after.
that was. They're saying that that happened during filming, and they said that to their therapist.
So before or after they said no, he didn't fondle with them.
That was before.
Before. That was
That was
before.
before. Because the therapist is the one that reported everything. So everything kicked off with the therapist. The parents found out that things was going on.
Right.
So
And matter of fact, oh, okay, let me take
run
that
that
back.
by me again. So before, as well, everybody pay attention, smash the like button. So when they said that they were fondled with not naked but fully clothed, was that
Hmm.
before or after they said he didn't do it at all?
That was before because that's what they were telling their therapist. All this information is coming from their therapy
Therapist.
appointments.
Yeah.
So the
And I
therapist is going to testify, and those medical records from the therapist is going to be brought in.
right.
So with that being said, so if is there a possibility, allegedly, what do you guys think, chat? What do you guys think
Allegedly.
over there in the vertical world? Do you think that there could be a possibility that on the back end? Now I'm just saying because these people do this. I'm not putting anything past anyone when it comes to this industry. I'm not going to say he's totally guilty. I mean, I'm not going to say he's innocent, but there a possibility, a loose possibility that he could have got in touch with the parents and broke him off a little change
No.
to
I
change some
No,
things.
believe
no, the
I totally
parents.
believe that the therapist is in cahoots with the parents.
I don't know
I
if I
do.
believe that. I know sis said
But you did say you don't know if you believe it though. So it is a possibility. What do
I
you
don't
guys think, chat? Do you guys put a one in the chat if you think there is a possibility that he could have paid him off?
no
And the
I don't
children said no. That happens in our world. Y'all know that happens in our world, right?
if that would have happened and he had charges after that, the parents would have brought that up because it would have made the case stronger. Because at the end of the day, if this goes through and he gets found guilty, the parents automatically get restitution for their pain and suffering of them kids. It's automatic. So if he would have came to the table with the offer, that would have been included. The same way it was included in Bill Cosby case, that he paid that joker off and she still came through with the charges afterwards.
Yeah.
So
So
much
Yeah.
crazy stuff coming
the
in because of this
parents
Epstein
the
file.
parents picked the therapist, Miss Liz, and good evening. The parents picked the therapist. It is my belief that the parents coached them kids and they went to that
Yeah.
therapist and said what they said.
And
I
when they
don't
got
know
in
if
front of the
I don't know
police,
if I
they got
believe.
scared.
Yeah, I don't
What
know
does
if I
Got
Miss
believe.
Leah
scared.
I don't.
say?
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that the therapist is in cahoots. That's just my personal opinion.
I
But I
do. I
definitely
believe it.
believe that they coach them kids. Well, the therapist can only say what the kids told them, and they're mandated reporters at the
Yeah,
end of the day.
that's true. That's true. They could have went in there. The parents could have told them to lie to the therapist. I
Yeah.
believe that once they got in front of those detectives, they got scared and they told the truth.
But why is
detectives
there
did.
so many different cases where he would, not just for these children, but for other people?
He don't have any other cases.
Well, I did see something that said he had other those type of charges. Now
No,
I got to go do my research because I
that's what the
did.
prosecution is trying to paint, that he's a
And I'm
serial
afraid
But the
broker.
prosecution can't paint something if it was documented. Now I could be wrong. I could have been watching fake news, but on the story that I saw, they had a bunch of papers going across the table as they said that this wasn't his first time being accused for these type of acts. Miss Liz, does anybody see that in the chat?
I'm gonna look it up, but Miss Liz, when you said the court should have picked the therapist, this was way before the
That's what
courts
I
was
was about to say.
involved. This was way before the courts was involved. The parents was taking them to therapy for some odd reason. I don't know. And supposedly they told the therapist and the therapist reported this. Now, this is the reason why I believe the therapist is involved. God, what'd you say?
Do you have the
I just
therapist's
read Miss
name?
Liz. I just read Miss Liz's last comment. We're gonna get into that, Miss
The
Liz.
parents they're scammers, allegedly. They have fraud cases, allegedly. They're into some crazy things.
Please smash the like button. It don't bite no.
And I was gonna say something. I missed my train of thought. But let me play what happened.
Can I
in
ask
the
you one
court.
more question, sis?
Yeah.
Can we please get documents of the counselors that did the evaluation so we can look more into that
No,
for the follow-up case?
We can't get
no,
that.
you can't
Those
get
are
that.
minors.
I said the counselor who counsels
You're not.
children.
That's
Yeah,
confidential information. That's
Then
confidential
why is
information.
it confidential though?
It's their medical records, and it's still pending. The case is still pending, and it's their minors, and it's their personal medical records. The
But
only way you're gonna
I'm talking about the person that evaluated them. We can't get the person that evaluated the children's name.
No, not until the case goes through.
Okay, so we on the right track then, because there's a lot behind this. Is a good case.
But you ain't about to get it right now. They just had the first court date.
I think that's what we need to know, who this therapist is.
It'll come out because she's going to testify. She's going to testify.
I know you're going to make sure it come out, right, G?
Yeah, let's go. Let me play this clip, y'all.
Great with the great spills the tea. Diamond Gang. Timothy Busfield has just been released from jail pending trial, and Good Morning America captured the moment. Busfield was being held with no bond after turning himself in. He faces charges of criminal sexual contact of a minor and child abuse. Prosecutors argued, should he remain detained? His attorney argued he wasn't a danger to the community. The judge ultimately ruled he can be released while awaiting trial.
This morning, West Wing actor Timothy Busfield is out of jail. A judge ruling in favor of his release as Busfield awaits trial for child sex abuse charges.
All right.
Shackled in an orange jumpsuit, Busfield took vigorous notes in court Tuesday. His wife, actress Melissa Gilbert, seated behind him in support. Prosecutors argued Busfield is a danger to the community and should be locked up through his trial because of a pattern of predatory behavior.
The pattern is all touching. There's a pattern of his conduct.
When did you enter the U.S.? He's accused of inappropriately touching two child actors he directed on the set of the TV show The Cleaning Lady, allegations he denied in this video obtained by TMZ.
I did not do anything to those little boys, and I'm going to fight it.
In court, the director of photography of The Cleaning Lady testified the alleged abuse couldn't have happened on set because the children were rarely there and always surrounded by the crew.
So is it possible that Mr. Busfield inappropriately touched SL on the set of The Cleaning Lady? No.
Now, let me stop it right there. To answer your question, Dove, I looked it up. No, this is the only case that he's been accused of these things. This is it. He's
But
never
the
been.
prosecutor even said that, and that the prosecution even said that. She's trying to say that it happened multiple times with these two boys, and that's why he's a danger.
Right.
Okay.
She
And it's
even said that in her own words.
Okay.
but y'all
Thank you for
see
clearing that
how
up.
the prosecutor is trying to force that, but here we have an audio of the kid saying he never touched them. They look crazy.
Well, how
And
do
they look
you? Let me ask another question.
yeah.
How do you, or will they become a part of this investigation, Peanut? Because I know I get off into that type of stuff. Um, how do they investigate? Are the children totally evaluated? Was the question
Yes.
asked to the children? Did your parents tell you to say this? Will they
Yes.
become a part?
That
Did they say that the parents told them to say
that's a
that?
that's a part of forensics. So they have somebody come through a whole forensic team that knows how to speak to children when it comes to these type of things. So
So the parents
they
can
were
get locked
asked.
up.
The parents can definitely get locked up.
Oh
Oh, this is
yeah.
good.
The parents
This
can
is good.
most certainly be locked up behind this, and he can sue the brakes off of them.
Yes. Yes. And you think that he's not? I think that he is. Let's go.
Field's attorneys say the parents of the alleged victims have a history of fraud and wanted revenge after their boys were recast.
Again. And play this back.
Have a history of fraud and wanted revenge after their boys were recast.
Again. A history of fraud and wanted
Inappropriately
revenge.
touch SL on the set of The Cleaning Lady. No.
Busfield's attorneys say the parents of the alleged victims have a history of fraud and wanted revenge after their boys were recast. The prosecution rejected that claim, pointing out the alleged abuse was reported by a therapist, not the parents.
The parents are not the ones making these allegations. The kids didn't even disclose to their parents. They disclosed to a neutral third party.
Melissa Gilbert crying tears of relief in the courtroom and outside expressing gratitude.
Forgive me if I get old. I want to thank all the friends, the co-workers who worked with Tim, our relatives. People have been coming out of the woodwork, showering us with so much love.
If these people,
And the judge placed no limit on Busfield's
She pisses me
potential
off.
travel. He's not allowed to have.
if these people
She pisses me
went
off.
through
I'm
these
sorry.
lengths to do this, who?
The wife. The wife pisses me off because
Why? You know
we
what type
spoke
of
about this.
allegations those are?
I listen, sis, because I mean we spoke about it briefly on a sidebar before you clicked your button. I felt like, and I understand that that everything is legal, but I know what type of allegations they are. I do believe he's innocent, but this literally came to light after she made a statement about supporting victims of these type of allegations. So I feel like she should have made some type of statement before. I feel like she should have made some type of statement before, but then to just stand up there afterwards and make that statement because he's released.
Let me ask you this. How do you know that they weren't being advised not to talk?
I'm pretty sure they were. I'm pretty sure they were. But it still doesn't stop me from feeling some type of way about it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, my
like
opinion is, I feel like you guys are counting your chickens before they hatch, if that makes any sense. Because I have another crazy question.
Just because he an old white man don't mean he out
Well,
here
he does
groping
look
people.
kind of perverted, though, but that's not what I'm about to say.
Because he an old white man. That's it. Old white
I
man.
don't know if he been locked up for a couple of days, but it looks kind of pedophilic.
That's a rich old white man that ain't never probably been to jail a day
Them
before in
are
his
the
life.
worstest
And
ones.
he
But this
and he
isn't
just
a
spent 5 days in there, probably traumatized, probably was in solitary confinement.
Well, okay, so what
so
do we
that's what
do
I'm
with this
saying. That
Diamond Gang?
profiling stuff,
All
I
right,
don't do
Diamond
that.
Gang. Diamond Gang.
You
Let me
like
ask the Diamond Gang something.
No, don't do that, bro.
I can't ask the Diamond Gang nothing.
I'm just talking about your previous comment, not you asking Diamond Game question. Come on, bro.
That's
Yeah,
old,
that's
though.
profiling. Like what?
But that's old.
I don't know. But go ahead, ask the
Go ahead.
question, and then I'm gonna play it again.
I was talking to Peanut, but that's in the past.
Okay, bro. I got
Well,
you.
she being nice to me today. I was trying to pull your car, but anyway, yeah. I was trying to figure out then what happens, YG and Peanut, if the children get evaluated, right?
Yeah.
And the children say, when they get the special therapist to come in, and they try to ask the children, "Did your parents tell you to do this?" And then the child say, "Nah," and it comes out the parents didn't tell him to do this. So why did they say that he molested them in the first place? Bingo.
They're not gonna sit up here and
What?
say, yeah, my parents told me to say it. They're not going to do that. They're
But there
not
is
going to do
someone,
that.
like you said, that comes in, Band-Aid Gang. Y'all heard Peanut say it. It's
There is
someone
Yeah,
that
you
someone
did
that
say that.
specializes.
there is someone that comes in and asks them that. But what I'm saying is they're not going to tell on their parents. They're just going to say he didn't touch me, which is what they did.
Right.
I need them
But,
to release
but
the
but what if
rest
they
of it.
ask them? Is it legal to ask the children? Did your parents tell you to
Yes.
blame this on that man?
Because the parents knew that that it was being questioned by forensics. You're not even allowed to be in the room when they're questioned by
Right.
Right.
So what I'm
forensics.
saying, if the children say, when they come to that question, did your parents tell you to blame this on this man? And the children say, no, our parents didn't do it. Didn't tell us to do that. So where does this case goes then? Where
It
does it go
goes
then?
it goes exactly where it's at now,
Are
bro,
the
with
children
charges.
crazy then? They gonna say, you got some crazy kids then.
No,
They
they
liars.
just
No.
So
no.
basically the
The
kids gonna be
Jack.
liars.
They're gonna
no, they're not gonna say that the kids are crazy. Kids are gonna
No, I
do
know they're
what
not gonna say that, but where do
the
you go
kids are
from
gonna.
there?
That's where we're at now.
Okay, thank you.
That's where we're at now with him being locked up and now released.
Okay, we
right.
tracking then. We tracking.
Right.
So eventually it's all going to come out and we're going to be able during the trial, they're not going to show their faces of the forensic interview, but we'll be able to hear every part of it because he's taking this to trial and he's probably going to ask for a speedy trial to save him some money because I'm pretty sure he has lost so much endorsement
Yeah.
and everything else outside of this. So his
Yeah.
best interest is to request a speedy trial.
Is there any? Oh, so there's no date on the trial?
No, it just happened.
No,
Okay.
he just
I
went
And
think
out.
he
He
goes
just
back. I think they said he goes back what on the 28th, sis, or the 29th or something like
29th,
that.
I thought.
okay, everybody that's here, we will give you an update on the 29th about
Oh
what's
yeah, I'm
going on.
gonna follow this because there are true victims. Hey EJ, and if that is the case, that these parents did this for revenge, that is some sick, disgusting shit. And I don't like it.
I don't like it, and I
I
don't like
agree.
it because of everything they put their kids through
Yeah, and you can
for
put
Right.
somebody
this.
in jail for the rest of their lives.
Right. Yeah.
No, he's not gonna go to jail for the rest of his life. He probably pedophiles typically on their first pedos on their first offense typically walk away with probation unless there's some major damage done. But at the end of the day, as a parent, to put your kids through everything they had to go through because of your little white lie. Your little
Right.
white lie. And I say little white lie because even though it's a major lie, it started off so small for a casting position. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure they some cute little boys. They could have been recasted on something else.
It
Taken the
was about the
deals,
money. If
but it
these
was about the
parents,
money. That's all they cared about was the money. They
yeah,
did not care about everything they put their kids through and how that's going to affect them in the future
right.
or how
This
that's
is,
going to affect them going to school.
yeah,
They didn't
But
their
care about
entire
none
life.
of that.
that's
Their
if. Now
entire
that's
life.
an if game. Now that's an
Do
if.
y'all
No, the
know?
parents. No, it ain't no
That's an
if.
if. No, I'm saying
There's
that's an if.
there's no
That's
if,
an if the
bro.
parents
Bro, the
influence the
parents,
children. We don't know
they
that yet though.
did, and I've always been on the fence with this.
How do we know that, Nut?
Sis can agree with me.
She
I've
can agree with
always,
you, but I'm
I've
saying, Nut, how do
always,
we
I've,
know that
but,
YG and Nut that
but
the
listen,
parents did it? We
bro,
don't know.
but bro, listen to me. I've always said I'm not picking a side on this right now because I don't want to victim bash or victim shame.
Right.
And then I don't want to accuse this man of doing something and it turns out we all were wrong.
Right. Yeah.
So I've remained neutral this whole entire time. But that clip of them kids saying he never touched me in that doggone freaking room with the forensic investigator,
Yeah, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna play that again.
that's a whole different type of ball game, because they tell you and they ask you, do you know the difference between a lie and the truth? And then they ask you different questions outside of that to make sure that you are aware. So being that they talk to them in the manner that they talking to them kids are definitely younger than freaking
Sorry, y'all.
14 years old. Them kids are younger than 14 because they're
Yeah.
not having those type of conversations with them. So those kids vary between the ages of 5 to probably 11 or 12
Mm-hmm.
because of the way they were speaking to them. So no, you cannot tell me that they're gonna sit up here in front of an investigator, a forensic investigator, and be like, no, he's never touched me. Before they can even finish the questioning, they say no, that didn't happen.
Let me play it again. Let's play this
Yolanda,
audio.
can I ask the Diamond Gang
Hey
something?
EJ. Hey melanated. I'm sorry if I didn't speak to you, hon.
Hey, Melanated Drip. Hello, everybody.
Let me play this audio for the ones that's just coming in the door so they can fully understand.
Can I say one thing?
After this audio.
I said, damn.
Listen to this, y'all.
Sis, you unshared your screen. We can't hear you.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. I forgot I fell off the porch. Let me put the screen back up here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Here we go. Now I'll go back. Hold on. Listen to this audio, y'all. Dove, you got my nerves bad.
Yolanda, the great with the great spills the tea.
That's karma.
Diamond Gang. New audio has just been released in the Timothy Busfield case. And this part right here is raising a lot of questions. In this clip, the officer asks the boy about the allegations.
So, you know what's right and wrong, right?
Yeah.
You know no one could touch your private areas?
Yeah, but he didn't touch them.
Doesn't touch your private parts? Okay.
This is sad.
And you know what's right and wrong, right? You know where people can't touch, where people can't do. Yeah, you know that, right? Does Tim ever do that?
No, he's never touched me.
Never touched you?
Damn.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
In like, you know, your private areas, right?
Yeah.
Never did that?
Never.
Okay. Diamond Gang.
All right, Dove, ask your question. Did y'all hear that? He said never, never. What's up, Mike?
Forget Mike. Mike being rude
Dove.
in the chat again.
Dove ain't, he can't answer. Ask your
I'm
question.
here.
Oh, okay. I was
Okay,
about to say he probably got to drop down.
No, I was
where
waiting
did they
because,
get that
I
audio
just didn't
back?
want to,
TMZ released it first. But that was the what's the name of those, the people that was questioning the boy?
Forensics.
The forensics.
Forensic. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was just going to say, first and foremost, I'm up here with sharpshooters. Marksmen and women are on this platform. So I wanted to ask.
Oh, no, I'm more than a marksman because that's just basic.
Yeah, when it
Okay.
comes to this stuff right here, she's more than a marksman.
I mean, we sharpshooters, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I just be trying to make sure I'm asking the right questions, and I just wanted to get some feedback from the Diamond Gang in the chat. Diamond Gang, I know some of you guys haven't watched this, but those that have been watching the story, how do you guys feel on what we covered? Did that pretty much answer some of the stuff that came up that you saw on social media? Did we quite say the things that you possibly was thinking? Can we get some feedback? Or if there's anything that you want to know about, can you please leave it in the chat? That's all I want to say.
What do y'all feel? What do y'all feel? Like, I do. I
That
really
was a good one, bro. That was a good one. Sorry, sis. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to cut you off.
That was definitely a good one. I'm angry. I feel a ways about this. I do, because this is can cause so much damage to these kids.
That part. And I mean, we spoke about on the sidebar with the damage that it can do to the kids. And I was like, they didn't open up DSS cases on themselves and everything else. They probably didn't even think that it would
Right,
go this far with how much they put their
right,
kids through. But, and I say they because at the end of the day, it's a mother and father that's involved in this, even though I feel like it's more so the mother.
mhm.
And let me address this real quick. Love you too, Mike, sweetheart. Have a good day. But the parents, the mother, I just cannot. I cannot with her. Like she is very sick. You have to be a disturbed individual to put your children through this. Hey,
Right.
Nick.
And that's what I'm like. I think what it was is they probably didn't think it was going to go this far. They probably thought that he was just
They
going to
expect
pay them to go away,
exactly. They
and
expected
it
a
didn't go down
payout,
like that. He
and
said,
it
"I'm
did not.
fighting this."
They did, yeah, they just thought that it would be a stain on him and he gonna lose money because they lost money and then they gonna pay him. Then he gonna pay out. That's probably what they thought. But another thing that I was thinking about is who drops their kids off for filming and leave?
A lot of parents,
Who
a
drops
lot.
their and that's your fault.
Yeah,
Because everything that's going on in society, I want to know why that's not a question of why you just left your kids when he has supposedly so many allegations against him because that's how the prosecution is painting it.
yeah, but there really wasn't. I checked. These is the
I know,
yeah.
but as a if you put all of us in the jury room, I'm gonna judge you for just dropping your kid off at filming because I'm pretty sure they not that Hollywood. This is probably their first major acting thing. And with them being as young as they are and they're not that Hollywood, as a parent, you will want to experience that. Of course, you're not going to be able to take pictures or do anything else like that. And if you are able to take pictures, you're not going to be able to doggone freaking release it or show it until after the episode airs, whatever the case may be. But nobody in their right sense of mind is just going to drop their kid off
It
and just
depends.
leave.
Because the man said
No.
there was too many people. There was no way that anything could have been going on the set. It depends on what type of relationship she had with certain people as well. Who's to say these
Well,
parents
clearly,
are allegedly into
clearly, the relationship ain't that damn good, sis. If the doggone other parents saying this is what she planned all along,
what as far as because they didn't
if
get the role. These
yeah, if they
parents go
don't get
back.
recasted,
Yeah. Now let's take a look at these parents. Okay. Again, they're into fraud. It's about the money. They got upset because their boys didn't get recasted. Who's to say they weren't working true 9 to 5s and couldn't be there all the time? We don't know what their situation was. Obviously, they needed that money if she went through to these lengths and got that upset that they didn't get recasted. So now she's on another money hungry scheme, accusing this man of doing things that he did not do.
or she could just be a parent that's living through
Well,
her
I do kind of
kids.
agree with Peanut
That
on both.
too.
I think
She could just be a parent. She
I
could
think
be a
covering this
stay-at-home
story. I think both
parent
of you guys made a.
that is going to the bar, having her a glass of wine and getting drunk, dropping her kids off at their job, and she living her best life because her kids are the money makers.
That could be true too.
I agree.
But it,
I
go ahead,
agree.
bro.
But I think if I can evaluate, I think Peanut has a valid point, which is what you call awareness, and that's why we are covering this story because of awareness. That's awareness what Peanut is talking about. But then on the back end, I kind of feel Yolanda on the back end because we don't know, and we don't know what the environment looked like. Maybe there were other parents on the
I
scene.
doubt it. Because kids
And
they tend to act a whole different way in front of their parents.
Agreed.
Right,
That's
but you
just
know how
like,
like you
yeah, you're
walk
not
into
going to
like
do that.
a ballet or karate class, and there's
Yeah,
some parents there, and the parents could have, if the parents are innocent, and there were more parents there, so they probably felt a little comfortable
there
on the
was no
set.
parents there. They were the only
On
kids
that
on the
set,
set. But
okay.
here's the thing, a lot of times, that's why
Oh, out of the
when
whole entire show, they were only kids?
they would, as far as is
Yeah,
like
that's what I
regulars,
want to
yeah,
know.
regulars. But
Because
here's I
I've
doubt
never heard of the show or seen the show until the allegations came out, and then he was arrested.
I doubt very seriously that every time, and it depends on the situation. Again, kids tend to act a whole different way when their parents are in the room. Believe it or not, a lot of times that's just like when they see the therapist, their parents can't be in there.
I
They
agree. I
can't.
agree. I agree with that because Aaliyah's 14, and I take her to her appointment just for her annual physical last year, and she was answering questions. Aaliyah's just to herself. She don't like people. She don't. If you ain't in her circle, she don't want to talk to you. I guess they thought that she would act a little bit better because they asked me to leave the room. She gave them the same energy. So
Yeah.
I agree with that.
A lot of times they do not want their parents around. So I could see this happening. So I mean, we don't know what the circumstances are.
But
I
she
would love to
14. Them kids is younger than that.
at the time this happened in, I want to say 2022. This has been going on for a while. This
Okay,
has been
so it
going,
happened in 2022, but it wasn't
yes,
reported
these
until last year.
right. It says the charges stem from an accusation that he inappropriately touched two 11-year-old twin brothers between 2022 and 2024. So they were on this show for 2 years. I can't see a mom showing up every episode or dad. So for 2 years, this allegedly had been going on. So I mean,
That's why it does
So
have
these
its
kids,
twist.
so
That's
they
why
like
it's going to be a good case. And
11, 12, 13. So they like 14 years old right now. And they still talking like that.
that,
yeah, they sound kind of babyish,
yeah, you
which
guys are
means,
good.
and I'm okay with that because guess what?
I ain't okay with that.
Nowadays, these kids is doing crazy. No, I'm okay with that. Be a kid as long as you can.
Be a kid
Who's
as
to
long as you
say?
can, but don't sound like you damn 8 years old at
But here's the
14.
thing: we don't know what these kids are going through.
That's why I say
We
I
don't,
it's
just
off
told you,
especially with
the
parents like this. We don't know what these kids are going through. They were seeing a therapist.
Stranger Things, man. Stranger Things.
They do sound young, and I love it because back when I was growing up, we sound just like that. Now these kids today, that's a different breed. We
I'm
got
trying.
something different going on today.
Yeah, I was a teen mom, so I was a whole lot different. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't
Do
know,
y'all
but different cultures, different backgrounds. I get
that
it.
too? That too. Yeah, that too. Now let me ask y'all a question because I do have the clip from True Crime. I mean Law and
Oh
Crime.
Lord. Oof. Go ahead and play that.
Let's get into it. Let me make the screen big.
Life insurance with living benefits pays while you live. You're 3 times
Had multiple civil judgments entered against her for fraud.
Fraud. We're going to get into that fraud. This is what's going to break it down. I want to know what that mom did.
What's the problem?
Zoom just makes my podcast.
Right? You know, where people can't touch, where people can't do. Yeah, you know that, right? Does Tim ever do that?
No, he's never touched me.
Never touched you?
Yeah.
In the case of actor Timothy Busfield, who's been accused of child sexual abuse, this is the new audio of one of the child accusers initially claiming that Busfield didn't sexually abuse him. Coupling that with Busfield's new court appearance, where he has been fighting to be released from jail ahead of trial, there is clearly a lot to break down right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. All right, before we get into this, look, it's January, and I will tell you the smartest people are mastering the skill that matters most this year in 2026. What am I talking about? AI. AI is going to be at its peak in 2026, and this is your last chance to get on the AI ship. What am I talking about? Outskill.
Outskill a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Series The Cleaning Lady from a few years ago. And this is, by the way, where he served as executive producer and director. One of the boys claims that he touched his private areas. According to a therapist, or according to therapist notes, this boy has been diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety. In fact, according to a 13-page arrest warrant.
You hear that? PSTD and anxiety.
PTSD.
I said there is something on PTSD. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. PTSD. What did I say? What did I call it?
I don't know what you
It's my bedtime. This live was only supposed to be 45 minutes long. I said PSTD. I think I said that. I don't know. But I said that there was something going on with these kids and anxiety. So they got some things going on.
That's why I was saying we got to dig deep.
I mean, yes,
that's one of the reasons.
Find out what it means to me.
Hey.
That's why I'm saying. I'm just saying. That's why I'm saying. I'm just in the cut because I'm not gonna count the chickens. Now, people can make money, and now the kids are diagnosed with PTSD, so they can turn around and say that the child had issues. That's why I said. I mean, money is involved, and ain't no telling who's behind it. It's just gonna be kind of, good, but bad to because I'm definitely anxious to see how this plays out.
All right, let's go.
The boy had, quote, nightmares about the director touching him and waking up scared. And so when it came time to determine whether or not Timothy Busfield would be released pending trial, here's what happened.
Now, to be clear, at the time of this recording, they haven't made a decision yet in terms of if he's going to be released from jail pending trial. But just to give you an idea, here's a snippet of what one of the prosecutors had to say about Timothy Busfield.
The state is requesting that this court find the defendant dangerous and that there are no conditions of release that this court can impose to secure the safety of this community. Pretrial detention is not a credibility trial. It's not a civil damages dispute, nor is it the studio's internal investigation. It's whether the defendant is dangerous and if the court can impose conditions to secure the safety of the community.
Every aspect of the state's case is flawed.
Period. Oh, man.
We will never stray from teaching God's truth.
Flawed.
Oh, Lord.
Every aspect of the state's case is questionable. I don't need to tell the court this, but my client is presumed innocent. As he sits here today, he is an innocent man. And I have significant concerns about the prosecution talking as if he has already been convicted.
That part. And she did because he don't have none of this is on his jacket. He don't have none of that. He has no history of this shit. They gotta stop. They looking crazy. Let's go.
Referred to the people who wrote letters of support.
All right, let me
Go
ahead.
She doesn't appear to be very experienced. So whoever the main DA, the head DA, the district attorney is the one that signed off on these charges to be pressed. And then they put this inexperienced young attorney out there to spear fight it, and then they're gonna fire her afterwards. Because it's not gonna be blamed on the one that signed off on the charges. She's probably not even the one that the people voted in.
Right.
Because you have the one that's voted in, and then you have other prosecutors underneath her or him. Because I don't want to assume nobody's gender.
All right, let's go.
He said, quote, "They don't believe when victims come forward." It's our legal system that starts from the position of saying, we don't believe. It must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
Listen, real quick. anytime when it comes to kids, we automatically think guilty because kids are what? Innocent. Even though we know kids do tell stories, why would we think that they would tell lies to this magnitude? You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like something right with this.
The question before the court today is the court going to hold Mr. Busfield in custody pending the trial in this matter, if we ever get that far? There has not yet been an indictment. It wasn't simply that the children did not disclose sexual abuse. They flat out denied it.
Period.
They said, no, it didn't happen.
What y'all feel about that?
I feel like that lady behind him was so proud of him in that moment.
I know. I'm like, yeah.
Because I mean, if you look at her response after he said that, she wanted to say something so bad, like she wanted to shake her tambourine like she was at church and say amen.
Yeah.
But he's going to push for an indictment because he has not been indicted, which is what I was saying earlier. It was literally just the DA that said there's enough evidence. Let's go through. This is what Black folks unfortunately go through every day.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a lot of people, which is why some counties are now taking and sending everything to the grand jury before they come to your front door now to arrest your butt. Because you're going to go through all of this and then you send it to the grand jury and the grand jury don't indict. And then now your case is conflicted now.
All right, let's see what he say.
The fact is that the criminal complaint in this case is slanted. It is slanted to bolster the state's case and omit exculpatory evidence.
Now, here's what I want to talk about. I want to put all of this into context because before that hearing came up, before that decision was made, there is a lot about this case that just came out. A lot to talk about since our last episode of Sidebar. Because this one, I have to tell you, is not so black and white. This one feels a little different because I'll start with this. This just came out. Originally, the boys were interviewed by authorities in November of 2024. This is when police were called to the University of New Mexico Hospital. The allegation was the boys were groomed by Timothy Busfield, who they apparently called Uncle Tim, that he would tickle them, talking maybe 7 or 8 years old. But now this is important. They initially denied that anything sexual happened. And that is important because just now, Busfield, as part of his push to be released from jail.
Right.
I'm so confused. Because the prosecution didn't even mention that. But why take him to the hospital? What you take him to the hospital for? In 2024. They were still filming at that point.
Yeah, the way they said it happened from 2022 to 2024. So it stopped in 2024. As soon as they didn't get that job, she said, let's go. Payback.
Jail, pending trial, he had these audio tapes of the interview released. And I want you to take a listen.
So you know what's right and wrong, right?
Yeah.
You know no one could touch your private areas?
Yeah, but he doesn't touch that part.
Doesn't touch your private parts?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And you know what's right and wrong, right? You know where people can't touch, where people can't do. Yeah, you know that, right? Does Tim ever do that?
No, he's never touched me.
Never touched you?
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that. Okay, we're going to talk about that. But to be clear, let's be clear about something. Victims or alleged victims, there are times they will first deny being abused. They may say it never happened. There's a number of reasons that can happen. And they might not mention it and then come forward months later, days later, years later. That happens. But
we didn't talk about that. What you think about that? We never said that this could happen.
It does happen a lot, which is why they interview you.
That's what I said earlier.
Which is why they interview you multiple times.
I said that earlier. Sometimes it's embarrassment, it's trauma, and that's why I said earlier, because you never know. They come back and change their mind and say it really happened. Look, you know, it could have been embarrassment, but that's why I said what was the reason why they said it in the first place. And what it goes back to is finding out if the parents were the ones to influence them to blame that on that man. Now, if it comes out that with the evaluation by the psych, then and it comes back that the kids never that the parents did not influence them to say it, then where do we go then? That's the next thing. If it comes out in
It
the
ain't gonna come out.
evaluation that, but that's what I'm saying. What then it goes to? It could. It's so many different possibilities. That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
we got to stick on to this very closely to get the outcome. Now we know the outcome is going to come by the judge, but we know how the judicial system is. Money talks, bullshit walks a marathon. But at the end of the day, that's what I want to know. I want to know if we will hear. See, there's another thing when the money comes into play. You get money to come into play, we might not ever even hear the children what the value when the children said what they said if the parents did it or not. We might not even
No,
hear
you're gonna
that.
hear it. No, you're gonna
We
hear it.
may not even hear
You
a
are
comeback.
going
That's
to
going to have to go to the
no.
prosecution. The
You're going to.
prosecution is going to have to be on
He
top
said
of their game to make sure that comes out.
no. If the prosecution don't, the defense will, because he said he's taking this all the way. So
Yeah,
you're
he
gonna
did.
hear that. You're gonna hear everything,
I'm
and
happy.
you're gonna
Go
hear
ahead. I'm so
everything.
sorry.
You're gonna
Well,
hear
we don't,
everything.
but
If they don't
in
drop, if they
cases
don't
we
drop the
don't hear
charges,
everything.
if
In
they
a
don't
lot
drop,
of cases, we don't hear everything.
because you're not
Well, I'm
watching the whole
happy that we
trial.
listen. I'm happy that we did decide to play this because the timing of when they said this is important. I thought that this audio was new, and it's not. All right.
That makes sense now too, and I'm glad Bro
Yeah.
said that too, because it makes sense. Because I'm like, why they sound so young?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
This was from
Right.
a couple of years ago.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Let's see
what
what
I'm
he
There
said.
is two
saying.
parts of this,
So
right? It does go to credibility. There could
All
be a
right. Hold on.
situation where they're not telling the truth, and there might be motivating factors, and that's what we're going to get into. But even so, I mean, this has to be considered. This has to be considered because I have to get into a lot of the things that Busfield
Hold on. Sorry,
has been
guys.
bringing up. You know, since there was no further evidence of sexual contact back in 2024, the investigation really didn't go anywhere. That was until October of 2025. That's when things changed because the boy's mother apparently filed a report against Busfield with CPS, Child Protective Services. And this is when one of the boys.
Y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
I heard it. Click that X. Click that
I
X and
heard
get
it.
that off your screen.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, guys. The boy's mother called Child Protection Services. That's weird to me. I've never heard of that.
Call CPS on yourself.
I've heard people calling CPS on themselves, but not on somebody else that allegedly abused their child.
No, because they call the police. So that's why I was saying earlier when we had our sidebar earlier, I was just like, she just opened up a DSS case on herself like a dummy. Everything
Wait a minute,
she
go
do.
back. Let me hear him again. Let me hear this again. Let me see.
Of the things that Busfield has been bringing up. You know, since there was no further evidence of sexual contact back in 2024, the investigation really didn't go anywhere. That was until October of 2025. That's when things changed because the boy's mother apparently filed a report against Busfield with CPS, Child Protective Services. And this is when one of the boys then claimed that Busfield did in fact.
That's what I'm saying. Why would she call?
It's
He didn't say the
conflicting though.
police.
It's conflicting because why did you take them to the hospital in 2023? And now all of a sudden, in October 2025, you calling Child Protective Services on this man and not calling the police. Because the
Did he have
hospital,
custody of
because
them
the
while they was
hospital,
at?
because the hospital ain't believe your ass the first time. So
Yeah,
now,
probably.
all these years later, because the hospital's mandated reporters. So if they
You
would
know
have
what?
went in there and they believed anything he had to say, they are mandated to call DSS. So now you just got the hospital involved in the investigation now.
But
They got questioned and everything else.
for her to call them on him, did he have some type of custody while they were on the set? You know how they do that.
They
People
probably
do that
did
all the time.
sign. They probably did sign paperwork.
I was thinking
They
that. Okay.
they probably did sign paperwork because they have to film. Their faces have to be shown. All this other type of stuff. They might have had to sit on Santa's lap for the Christmas show, whatever the case may be. So
But do they have custody? You know how people say, "Oh, I left my child with this producer, Usher. Let this person raise." You know what I'm saying?
I
Usher's
don't I
mom.
don't think I don't think she signed over temporary custody, but I think she probably signed over some power of attorney type stuff for
Because
them
it's
to
like
act
that's
on her
weird.
behalf. But exchange of custody, I don't think so. But she called CPS because at that point she didn't know what else to do, like a dummy.
Okay. Let me hear
What you
That's
think,
what I'm
bro?
saying, Yolanda. You on the right track because that is absolutely weird. And then some people do that. They give custody to people's kids. We don't know. Money talks. That's why I say the
Yeah.
prosecution has to have something. The prosecution has something. They're not gonna show their hand. They're not gonna show their hand. So we never know when it comes to this to this industry. That's a wicked game, and a lot of people don't want to get found out, and they pay a hell of a penny to not get found out. And if he's not prosecuted and he walks free, all the Epstein files and all of that, they're gonna be talking about. See, look,
That ain't got nothing to
people.
do with this.
I'm just
That
saying,
ain't got nothing to do with this.
it just ways. I'm just saying ways people do to market things. It's crazy, man. It's just to me.
Yeah, you
I don't
never
put
know. They
nothing
might
past
try to.
anyone.
Nah, these just some shitty ass parents. We can't blame everything on the industry. These some shitty ass parents, and we didn't. Now we know that they've been shitty since at least 2003. She may have been a
Yeah.
shitty mother when she popped them kids out her vagina.
All right, I'm
But
gonna
we
go
can't
about maybe.
blame the parents
Touch his
all the way
private
yet
area
either.
over his
Sorry, y'all.
clothes.
Sorry.
We don't got
All
a
right, let me
charge. We
finish.
don't got a charge on the parents yet. We got them being scammers, but we don't have a charge on them for actually influencing the child to do it yet.
All right, let's go.
Was, quote, afraid to tell anyone because Tim was the director and he feared Tim would get mad at him. So after conducting these interviews and reportedly talking to some members of the Cleaning Lady production crew, an investigator in this case secured an arrest warrant. Now, in anticipation of that hearing to determine whether Busfield would be released pending trial, his team submitted an over 200-page filing to get out of jail. And a big part of that filing is seemingly trying to tarnish the credibility of these two boys' parents. And this is new from the last time we covered this. So in Busfield's filing, arguing again that he should be released, he claims essentially that these parents are fraudsters and stage parents. You're talking about parents who have been identified as Angel LaSalle and Ronald Rodas.
Let me write
And they
these
even
names
cite
down.
how, according to them,
Let me write these names down because I'm gonna track these people. You understand me? I'm going to track them. And
I love it when you that.
Yeah. Ronald, yeah.
Mike, you can't even hear what's going on. So how about you continue
Sin, I
sitting
might
down
need
like
you,
you a
girl.
picture of furniture? How about that? Sit down like you a picture on the wall, and sit down like you that doggone couch in that living room. Can you hear me
Now
now, Mike?
after this, yeah, I gotta cut it. We're gonna have to do a part 2. It's almost 9:30.
Sal allegedly was heard saying to somebody that she wanted to get, quote, revenge on Busfield, potentially because the boys were replaced by another child actor in the show, that's what the motivation here is. Quote, the state offers no reliable proof, only allegations advanced by witnesses with documented histories of fraud and financial exploitation, contradicted by a comprehensive studio investigation and refuted by witnesses and objective risk assessments. I'm going to get into all that, but the prosecution's case, they claim, the defense claims, quote, rests almost entirely on the accounts of two stage parents. They're not neutral observers. Their allegations emerged only after the loss of the twins' role and only after consultation with civil counsel, creating an obvious financial and retaliatory motive. That motive must be evaluated against the couple's well-documented history of fraud and dishonesty. So what is Busfield referring to with respect to these parents? Well, Busfield claims, if you take the father here, Rodas, Essentially, the claim is, the allegation is that he changes his story when money's on the table and that he's doing this for financial gain, saying Rodas, quote, is a former attorney who was convicted of federal conspiracy and wire fraud and was later disbarred following that prosecution for a multi-million-dollar scheme in which he used his law license to deceive vulnerable victims for profit. And they cite how Rodas...
How do y'all feel about that? So when there's money on the table, nah, the twins is cool. Really? This is crazy.
Previously pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, where he reportedly, quote, defrauded more than 1,500 homeowners of approximately $6 million. And that, again, is according to the filing that was obtained by outlets like People magazine. But Busfield also cites in this filing how apparently a member of the cleaning lady production crew, who apparently knew Rodas, called him, quote, pushy and manipulative, and that he would, quote, frequently encourage and tell the children to hug people on set, including Mr. Busfield. So,
there go the setup. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
I heard it, but I'm in the background reaching because well, not reaching, but researching.
Explain, give me your evaluation on setup.
Yeah, I
Can you
just
let us
sent
know?
you. Yeah, I just sent you a text with the
Yes.
father's name.
Yeah, I see it. They would go and tell the kids, go sit, go hug people, go do, like they were going to get him, is what Busfield's team is trying to say. That they were pushing their kids on them. You feel me? Go hug Uncle such and such. Go,
Former attorney pleads guilty to participating in fraudulent mortgage fraud.
This dude.
That's on the Department of Justice website. Immediate release, June 27th, 2016. Ronald Rodas, 51, of Irvine, California, pled guilty before the U.S. District Court Judge David O. Carter for the Central District of California to one count of conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud. At the height of the mortgage crisis, the defendant and his co-conspirators preyed on desperate homeowners with a series of lies and false promises. Yep, I'm about to send it to you. No, so yeah, they some yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, I want you to take what if you can, Diamond. If you can take that paper that Peanut got. So once we go back over here, so we can do a read, so we can dig into the read, into the file, and further updates. I'll send you some further updates or whatever. So we continue to part 2 on this one.
Yeah, let me hear the rest of this. Hold on. Let me just hear a little bit more. This is crazy.
you're kind of seeing where a defense may be going here and what we might see at a trial. But what about the boy's mother? Right? Busfield is not only going against the father, he's also going after the mother. So Busfield claims that she, quote, has had multiple civil judgments entered against her for fraudulent and dishonest behavior, claiming that she was sued for, quote, various claims, including fraud, conversion, fraudulent transfer, and making the allegation that she illegally repossessed a car, that she wrote bad checks to casinos. Quote, the fact of the matter is that the parents driving the allegations against Mr. Busfield have an extraordinarily checkered past that casts enormous doubt on the truthfulness of their statements. The timeline does not indicate an investigation naturally unfolding, but instead an express effort to seek revenge against Mr. Busfield after losing the lucrative opportunity that came with their children's acting on the cleaning lady. Now, I'm going to get into in a little bit if any of this is going to come into a trial, but it is important to talk about in the context of this whole story. And by the way, in terms of, him trying to fight for his release. I do have to cite something else, though. I think this is important. So apparently, Warner Brothers, who was a partner in the production of this TV show, also had an independent outside investigation conducted.
Shit.
And apparently that
Warner Brother got involved. Y'all hear that? Let's hear what they got to say. And then that's it. We're going to do a part 2. This is crazy.
Investigation found, quote, no corroborating evidence of inappropriate conduct. And in Busfield's opposition filing, he even claims that the investigation, quote, found not only that allegations against Mr. Busfield were unfounded, but also that LaSalle, the mother, after hearing that her children might not be returning for a 4th season, stated to the show's lead actor that she would, quote, get her revenge against Tim Busfield. Now there's more. In the filing,
We got to stop it right there. Hey, yo. How do y'all feel about that?
Mm.
This,
I'm still stuck on researching the daddy. And I was trying to get the daddy a pass. I was trying
yeah,
to get
because
it.
you
I
kept
thought
saying the
everything,
mother.
I
I
feel
kept
like
blaming everything on the mama.
I feel like if they keep letting us in the door, then we gonna do them all type of ways. And see, that's the type of shit that we be on over
Yes.
here, gang. This the type of shit that we be on. So y'all, man, I don't think nobody fucking with us for real. When we get together, we'll get all in your business now.
You
Don't
know,
We
open,
getting ready
don't
to
open the
these
door and let
people.
us in. We'll get all up in there and get in your business now. And
Period.
this is what happens. Now you done got us stirred up, and now we all up in there and seeing what the husband see. Peanut was talking about the wife. Oh, the husband, he in trouble. Don't get in your ass and get on the
the
paperwork.
judge,
I'm a,
the judge
yep.
ordered, the judge ordered them to pay over $3 billion in restitution. Is that 3 billion? Hold on, let me see. I don't got my glasses on. No, that's
What?
3 million. 3 million, almost $4 million in restitution.
God, let me say this. I'm gonna pray for these
You pay
kids.
$3 million and you ain't even middle class or what the restitution. No wonder why they probably tried to come at this guy.
Almost
This
$4
is
million in restitution is what the dad was ordered to pay. And it says both defendants previously admitted that between October 2008 and June 2009, they participated in a scheme to induce homeowners to pay between $3,500 to $5,500 for services of the Rodis Law Group. That's the father.
I said down.
$4 million is what the father owes in restitution to
The fella.
California. That's what the
Wow.
father currently owes is 4 million freaking dollars.
This is
And
crazy,
nobody
bro.
and nobody knows how much he's been paid of that.
Let me mess around and find out that they playing with them kids. They
It,
playing with this man's life. Like
they are.
this
They are.
is crazy.
They are. Don't let me find the wife name. I'm pretty sure I can doggone freaking find the wife name, but that's all I can find on the daddy. Once they say he was disbarred, I said, oh, that's a go. That's easy to find. And he been
Yeah,
disbarred since 2011, I think. I got to go back and look at the paperwork because I was like,
that's
ooh. And I just sent
crazy.
it straight to you.
So Diamond Gang, we're gonna do a part 2 on this. Probably Friday. Probably Friday. We're gonna dig into some things. And we're gonna do these parents all types of ways. They a mess.
I hate it though. I hate it. I hate
I
it,
do too.
but it is what it is. I hate it. I don't want to do the parents like this. I really
I
don't.
do. If they're doing this because this is this man's life.
It is his
You're
life.
tearing your kids up too.
I agree.
They're
I
gonna
agree,
need
but it's
therapy for a long time.
yeah, because they was born into this. They ain't asked for this, and their parents been jacked up since 2011. These kids the same age as Aaliyah, which means they was born in 2011,
This
and
is
their kid
sad.
and their parents been doing this since before they was even born.
Make sure y'all turn y'all notifications on. Replay Gang. Make sure subscribe, smash the like. We're going to dig. We're going to dig into these parents. This is crazy. I'm gonna drop the link, bro. Hold on. This is crazy. This is not good. I feel
It's
so
not.
bad for them kids because you know
They ain't asked for this. They were just doing what mommy and daddy told them to do.
right. Like, wow. I wonder if those are the only kids that they have. Are there more kids? Like, you literally are pimping your kids out. They
Yes,
was trying to force
yes,
them on the adults.
mm-hmm. Yes, Mr. Damon. They was real thirsty for that bag.
Yeah,
Real thirsty for that bag.
put their kids through that shit. Ooh.
I don't mean to say Mister. I did not mean to assume your gender. My apologies.
Mm. Bro, you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
This is crazy.
I'm
So
gonna have to send it to you, bro. I'm gonna have to send it to you because this is crazy. So I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to
Send
you
it
as
to the
well.
group. Send it to our group.
So
Okay.
I'm doing a part 2 Friday.
And
Right.
before we
Okay.
close out, how do you say it? The Uvalde, the Uvalde, is that how you pronounce it?
What?
The former Uvalde school police officer, the one that ran away from the school and all them kids got unalived.
No, I
I
ain't
think it
here.
was in I think it was in Texas. It
No,
was
I
some
ain't here.
years ago.
You got something on it?
Oh
He
shit.
just got acquitted of all charges.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
He just got acquitted of all
Send me that
charges.
information.
He just got acquitted of all freaking charges.
Damn.
So please, y'all, make sure y'all
Send me
come
that.
back
Send me that.
Friday.
Send me that read. I want to. Hey, why y'all want to congratulate another great show?
Yes.
This is a
Thank
beautiful thing. Up here watching this grow and turning into something.
Bruh,
Oh, he got to
can
fall
you?
off
And hey,
again.
you did your thing. This is a great one. This one's gonna open up in many ways.
Yeah, I'm
Not
keeping
just
on
saying,
this.
it's an honor to be up here with two
Thank you.
sharpshooters, and this is a good case. This is something very interesting. You got me like, damn, and I got shit to do tomorrow, but damn.
Yeah, these parents, man, we're going to walk them down. We're going to walk these parents down. Y'all wrong. You did wrong. Report your ass to the principal's office.
Expeditiously.
I
Period.
said, damn.
Well, peace, love, and joy, everyone. Again,
Thank
thank you
you,
so much for
Peanut.
joining us. Thank you for supporting my sis. And that's all I got. Peace, love, and joy to you and yours. I'm
Thank
out.
you.
Go ahead and close
Thank
out,
you,
sis.
boo.
Peace,
All right.
Love
Peanut.
y'all. Love y'all. Love you, bro and
Yes.
sis.
Love you too.
Bye,
And
Angel,
like
my
Love
Yolanda's
you.
beautiful
song
sis.
say,
Thank you so much.
hey, and like Yolanda the great song say, smash that like, it don't bite no. Bye.
Bro, all right, y'all. We out. I will see y'all Friday around the same time. Make sure you got your notifications on. And if you're not subscribed, get what you waiting on. Subscribe. Get your ass on in here.
It's Yolanda degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea.